First of all, the movement isn't just focused on the youth attempting to express their opinions on our country's political, social, and economic status, but it's reached a global scale that consists of over 2,000 towns and cities worldwide. Those towns and cities are embodied by a completely diverse group of people from various different religious backgrounds, ethnicities, cultures, ages, and sexual orientations. Occupy Wall Street began as a series of demonstrations against corporate greed and social and economic injustices. It was based off the premise that 1% of our nation's population controls all of the wealth and doesn't pay taxes due to loopholes that they find through their corporate stature. The other 99% of the population are the working class citizens that live a fairly average life, yet are forced to pay high taxes and continue to struggle with economic hardships. In Occupy culture, it's natural to begin every meeting with a chant to wake everyone up and get all of the onlookers involved.
Money for jobs and education, not for banks and corporations.
Money for jobs and education, not for banks and corporations.
Money for jobs and education, not for banks and corporations. This is a no hate-free zone. So there's no homophobia, no sexism, racism, and ableism, or anti-nationalism. We are a people's movement, so if we can please be respectful of all the people. So the speakers were asked to address the question, why are we here? And each of them have their own reasons and their own voices to why they joined this movement. And so I won't be introducing their names because they have a voice and they have the voice to introduce why they're here for. Is everybody okay with that? Okay, so I'm just gonna be passing the mic to every person that's gonna be coming up here.
Why are we here? We're here because we are tired of occupations of Iraq, of Afghanistan, the US-funded occupation of Palestine. And with the billions of dollars that we can be saving from these wars, we can put money back into education and back into taking care of our soldiers and veterans. Locally here, 50 suicides on Joint Base Lewis McChord as of the beginning of the Afghanistan war. These soldiers are not being taken care of because they're not getting the money for medical physicians.
Now, why are we here? I'm here, and I think most of us are here, because we awakened from a deep sleep to discover the house of our democracy was on fire. The data is in. The American dream has been hijacked. Half of our $14 trillion national debt can be directly attributed to two unpaid for, undeclared, unwise wars.
That's right.
Plus tax breaks for people who don't need them.
That's right.
There's been a massive redistribution of wealth.
That's right.
Right now, 5% of the wealth, 5% of the people have more wealth than 95% of the rest. It's just too much. Thomas Jefferson knew this. Disparity of income undermines our democracy.
That our education and our healthcare programs that serve children, single parents, the disadvantaged, and the homeless are being cut, while the top 1% of our population is getting tax breaks because of loopholes.
Washington, D.C., San Francisco, and I'm on your side, brother. And I want you to know that the calculations for bonuses for Wall Street investment banking groups, it's a true number, and it shocked me when I saw the hundreds of millions that we had to calculate for budgets for the investment banking sector. So everything you say is, you hear is true about the corporations, and I stand testament to at least a few calculations of those.
Department is investigating.
So based on all my knowledge, I can tell you that the tipping point for the movement to take off, the 2% tipping point that we need, is 12,000 people in the streets of Seattle the next time we meet.
It represents an awakening of America, a long overdue awakening to the source of the true threat to American prosperity and security. We call it Wall Street. You are here on the front lines of the struggle to liberate ourselves from Wall Street rule. Wall Street wraps itself in the American flag and touts its role as the creator of prosperity and American jobs. Americans are waking up to the reality that Wall Street lies. It turns out that most everything that Wall Street does is either illegal or should be illegal. It operates like a criminal syndicate, and you don't deal with the mafia by negotiating or by asking, please be nice. You shut it down. I grew up in America when we had a real middle class, when America was the industrial and technological power of the world, when we were respected, when we had a degree of security. Wall Street organized to change the rules, to strip Main Street of its power and take over that power itself so that the 1% could expropriate the wealth created by the other 99%. Our future depends on shifting power, changing the rules to shift the power from the Wall Street 1% corporations to the Main Street 99%.
The wages, the benefits, and working conditions that I enjoy were not handed down to me on a silver platter by some benevolent employer. They were fought for and won by the hard work and constant struggle of the Democratic Union that I am part of, along with the solidarity of the other unions who assist us in those efforts. The absurdity of the economic imbalances and injustices that plague our nation and world today make me want to vomit. I get sick when I hear people talking about throwing children and elderly off of Medicaid in order to balance a budget, but talk about showering tax favors on companies that benefit from the hardworking people of the localities that they set up shop in. I am exhausted of hearing of people losing the roof over their heads to pay for a life-saving medical procedure. I am delighted, however, that Eric Cantor, the phony House Majority Leader, is mighty uncomfortable right now about the mobs that are occupying the cities around the country. We are having an effect. No matter how our detractors may try to divide, conquer, marginalize, and demoralize us, our beautiful, imperfect movement, I wouldn't want it to be perfect, is articulating a long overdue laundry list of economic grievances and imbalances that plague and threaten our nation and world today. I'm here in solidarity with the unemployed, the working, the students, the retired, and all the people of the world who face economic imbalance, because an injury to one is an injury to all. Thank you.
Okay, I want to grow up and know I'm going to get a job that I'm going to get a house, I'm going to get a car, and I'm going to live a good life.
We got a lot of people in prison that should be out and a lot that should be staying in there. Our prosecutors' jobs are to see that justice is done. But they don't get voted in when justice is done. They get voted in by the number of notches on their belt. That's how they get reelected. How many of the poor, the impoverished, the disenfranchised can they put in jail to make themselves look good? And make money. That's a bet. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry in this country.
Then I think we can imagine a society where all these intelligent people around us can offer their skills to make this a better world. Because we're operating on different principles. Because we're not operating on principles led by profit. Because we're operating on principles to support this earth, to heal Mother Earth, to remember the history of genocide that's been done around this world and this country, and never again to repeat that history.
Hey, I've got some bad news for you people. Wall Street hates you. Well, they hate the Teamsters too, so we have a whole lot in common. As of last Tuesday, Joint Council 28 has officially endorsed Occupy Seattle. We will be down here in the future with more and more Teamsters.
I'm Valeria. I am 21, I'm a nurse, and I'm still in school to get my bachelor's degree in nursing. My goal is for people to start thinking for themselves. I want people to be healthy, and corporations are not allowing people to be healthy. I want people to learn peace and to know that this is a peaceful demonstration. And I want people to know that they have a right to criticize their government. That is our American right. It will last until things change. I know that for sure because I've been coming here almost every day, and I know the people and I know they're dedicated. There are people that live a few blocks from here and they sleep every night. They don't go home, they don't shower, they sometimes don't eat 3 meals a day, but they stay here and they are devoted. I'm devoted with them.
But I got out of there after 3.
There's 2 buckets going around. Please donate. We really need those. And also go to occupyseattle.org for up-to-date minute information of what we're up to. Thank you.
Fight to get an amendment to the Constitution that takes constitutional rights away from corporations. And we have an organization, Seattle, MoveToAmend.org.
Well, first, I want more people to come. I'm still trying to educate others. I'm still trying to get the people that are walking by, turning their face, ignoring us. I want them to stop ignoring us and to at least learn what we have to say. And the next step, of course, is to start organizing ideas, getting people's solutions together, coming together as a community, voting for how we should do this.
Billions back from Goldman Sachs, give the people back their homes. Let's erase JP Morgan Chase, give the people back their homes. Make the CEOs sell their 3rd and 4th homes so we don't have to live in tents or on a couch in our parents' house or struggle to pay rent. Those who got our dough worship money, so it really is a crime. They've got the clout, they get bailed out.